We're down here in Pasadena's Arroyo, where the city just concluded a pilot program to graze 100 acres of arroyo lands with around 600 goats. The program was done after the Eaton fire to reduce the fuel loads for fire, but unfortunately it seems to have made the fire risk worse. Let's see what it really did. Well, the goats have eaten up the bark on, in some cases, the majority of these multi-trunk chaparral shrubs. So this here is a laurel sumac. You can see that the goats ate the bark pretty much as far up as they could reach. It's bleeding there, there's sap coming out. Underneath the bark is a very thin layer called cambium, and that's where these shrubs transport nutrients from the sunlight they get down to the roots. Once all of the cambium is stripped like this plant isn't going to be able to heal and close that gap. This is called girdling, and girdling is one way to kill a tree. The canopy is all going to decline, it's going to die, and that's going to create an even bigger fire hazard as we go into summertime. But there's going to be even more dead wood, even more declining and dying canopy. So that's extra work, that's more dead wood in the arroyo, and it's a bigger fire hazard. You can see these dead branches are from the goats climbing on this thing. So again, they're creating even more dead wood. This is a mature California holly or a toyon shrub, and really a small tree. This is on the protected tree species list here in Pasadena, but does it look like this shrub was protected? No, there were no protections for this shrub like there were supposed to be. So if you look at these leaves, these are a waxy evergreen leaf, and many people in Altadena actually credit California holly with neutralizing embers and protecting their homes during the Eaton fire. And again, this is a shrub that protected people's homes in Altadena. In the wind, they were brushing, they were sweeping and neutralizing embers and protecting homes. And so now you're just going to have more dead fuel when you could have had a shrub that's very fire resilient. One thing that the city is saying, it was the first benefit of the goats, is that, oh, they're coming through and they're eating all of the seeds, and so we're going to prevent the mustard all from going to seed. What do you see right here? Did the goats touch any of this? This is full of mustard seed right here. If you would have put the goats in an area just like this would be a much different conversation. So this is the stuff that the goats don't touch. This is what we really need to be focusing on in the arroyo. It's the years and decades worth of accumulated dead wood that's creating our real fire hazard down here. The alternative is that we use our resources wisely and we come through and prioritize cleaning up all of these years and decades worth of neglect and dead wood and fuel. This is what's going to cause your fire hazard down here in the arroyo. This is what's going to happen to these canopies of these shrubs down here. You could take one of these evergreen leaves and they're full of moisture, they're full of water. So much more fire resilient than when you end up with this stuff. This is flashy fuel. That means this stuff just goes right up into flames. I think that we need to call on the city of Pasadena to hire a qualified biologist to do an independent report and to take account of what the actual impacts were. I'm going to put down below the director of the Parks Department in Pasadena, the council members of the Arroyo, their emails, and those are the people to reach out to request this. We need an independent after-action report of this so that we can do this better going forward.